The philosophy of epistemology, understanding knowledge. Welcome to our exploration of epistemology, a fundamental branch of philosophy that grapples with the nature, origins, and limits of human knowledge. How do we know what we know? What justifies our beliefs, and are those beliefs truly valid? In this video, we traverse the fascinating landscape of epistemological thought, journeying from ancient theories to modern debates, and invite you to question and appreciate the intricate processes of knowledge. Epistemology, derived from the Greek words epistēmē, knowledge, and logia, study of, fundamentally concerns itself with the investigation of knowledge. We begin our journey by unraveling the concept as defined by classical theories, offering insights into how knowledge has been conceptualized historically. One of the earliest and most influential frameworks comes from the renowned philosopher Plato, who proposed the idea of knowledge as justified true belief. For Plato, for a person to know something, three main criteria must be met: the belief in a proposition, the truth of that proposition, and sufficient justification for that belief. From Plato's foundation, several key philosophers have contributed to the trajectory of epistemology. This includes pioneers like Aristotle, later leading to significant developments during the Renaissance and Enlightenment periods as philosophical thought evolved through scientific discoveries and cultural changes. In the 17th century, rationalists like René Descartes brought new approaches to epistemology, prioritizing reason as the primary path to knowledge. Descartes' work marked a pivotal shift towards seeking certainty and clarity amidst epistemological inquiries. René Descartes, often dubbed the father of modern philosophy, famously asserted the primacy of doubt in acquiring knowledge. By employing systematic skepticism, he sought to establish foundational beliefs that could withstand even the most radical doubt. Descartes arrived at his famous conclusion, cogito ergo sum, or I think, therefore I am, through this rigorous process. This simple assertion posits that the very act of thinking provides indisputable evidence of one's existence, serving as the cornerstone for all further knowledge. For Descartes, the quest for certainty necessitated divorcing oneself from sensory experiences, perceived as unreliable. Through reason and deduction, he believed, one could structure a clearer understanding of the world, free from the deceptions of the senses. Conversely, empiricists like John Locke championed the role of experience and observation as the bedrock of knowledge. Empiricism emphasizes the idea that all knowledge originates from sensory experience. John Locke, an eminent figure in the empiricist tradition, rejected innate ideas proposed by his rationalist counterparts. Instead, he argued that the mind at birth is a tabula rasa, a blank slate, arguing that knowledge is accumulated through lived experiences and sensory perceptions. Locke's empiricism posits that comprehension results from the processing of empirical evidence acquired via the senses. By interacting with the world, we gather data that inform and shape our understanding of reality, forming a knowledge base grounded in perceptual evidence. The discourse between rationalism and empiricism delineates an essential dichotomy within epistemology. While rationalists favor reason above all, empiricists adhere to experiences and observations, demonstrating diverse philosophical paths leading to knowledge. Epistemology also embraces skepticism, a radical approach that challenges the very possibility of acquiring true knowledge. Skeptics question the reliability of our beliefs and assumptions. David Hume, an influential skeptic, profoundly impacted subsequent epistemology by disputing the certainty of causation and inductive reasoning. He contended that our belief in causality is based only on habit and custom, not logical necessity. Hume's skepticism extends to critiquing inductive reasoning, the process of drawing general conclusions from specific instances. He argued that inductive inferences are inherently uncertain, as they rely on the assumption that the future will mirror the past. Hume's challenges invite rigorous examination of our methods of obtaining knowledge. By scrutinizing the foundations upon which we build knowledge claims, skepticism fosters critical thinking and analytical rigor, essential components of epistemological inquiry. Immanuel Kant, a philosopher of the late 18th century, sought a synthesis between rationalism and empiricism. His revolutionary ideas transformed epistemology by proposing that our minds actively shape the experiences we perceive. Kant posited that while knowledge begins with experience, it does not necessarily arise from experience alone. Instead, the human mind possesses innate structures and categories, facilitating the organization and interpretation of sensory data. By integrating rationalist and empiricist ideologies, Kant established a new framework known as transcendental idealism, suggesting that our experiences of phenomena are mediated by the cognitive faculties inherent within us. The concept that our perceptions are influenced by inherent mental structures underscores Kant's assertion that the human mind molds and orders external data according to intrinsic logical patterns, thus actively shaping our understanding of the world. Epistemology's journey continues through modern philosophical challenges, including the Gettier problem, which scrutinizes the classical definition of knowledge as justified true belief. Philosopher Edmund Gettier presented scenarios that questioned whether having a justified true belief sufficed for constituting knowledge. Through thought experiments, he demonstrated cases where justified true belief inaccurately represented what one knows. Gettier's problem sparked an ongoing debate regarding the adequacy of traditional definitions of knowledge and inspired alternative theories suggesting additional criteria or modifications to existing concepts of knowledge. These explorations into knowledge offer novel perspectives on the limits and nature of knowledge, prompting philosophers to investigate conditions beyond justification required for attaining true understanding. The digital age raises new epistemological questions, primarily concerning how information technology influences knowledge acquisition and dissemination. Understanding epistemic virtues in this context becomes increasingly relevant. With the advent of technology, individuals have unprecedented access to vast information sources. However, this deluge necessitates critical evaluation to discern credible knowledge from misinformation, reshaping the landscape of epistemology. The modes through which we gather and consume information in the digital era pose unique challenges and opportunities for epistemology. Navigating these changes requires honing skills to effectively process and evaluate the avalanche of information available. Epistemic virtues, traits such as open-mindedness, intellectual humility, and perseverance, play crucial roles in responsible knowledge acquisition and assessment in today's digitally saturated world. Cultivating epistemic virtues can enhance our engagements with information, facilitating more profound inquiries into the nature of knowledge itself. An open-minded approach encourages consideration of diverse viewpoints and willingness to revise beliefs when confronted with compelling evidence. This virtue fosters robust epistemological understanding by motivating critical engagement with alternative perspectives. Intellectual humility, recognizing one's cognitive limitations and the potential for error, becomes equally essential. Embracing humility allows for constructive dialogue and aids in overcoming biases that may jeopardize the pursuit of knowledge. Together, these virtues guide and sustain the epistemological quest for truth. By promoting vigilant questioning and comprehensive reflection on beliefs, they serve as instrumental tools in navigating complex intellectual landscapes. In conclusion, the philosophy of epistemology invites us to reflect deeply on the dynamic landscape of knowledge, blending insights from historical and contemporary sources. In understanding how we know what we know, we appreciate the processes that lead to truth-seeking and intellectual growth. The journey through epistemology highlights the ever-evolving nature of philosophical thought and the ongoing conversation about the boundaries and possibilities of knowledge. By recognizing the relevance and excitement of epistemology, we foster a culture of inquisitive and discerning thinkers prepared to grapple with the questions that define our understanding of reality. Embrace the quest for knowledge today, and may your exploration of epistemology inspire deeper appreciation for the truth-seeking endeavors that shape our world.